I came from Iraq. I was born in Iraq. My father had a dream of coming to America at the age of 5. At the age of 27, he came to the U.S. to visit. And once he got to the U.S., he said, I ain't going back. There's no way I'm going back to Iraq. He contacted my mother through people, because you can't talk on the phone if you're, because phones are monitored. So he sent messages through people. And I had 5 sisters and a brother, so there's 7 of us. And we escaped Iraq at night. We went through Syria and then to Beirut and then to the American Embassy in Beirut. My dad got a job working for Ford. They helped him with his, Ford in Detroit, Michigan helped him with his work permit and green card. So we were in Beirut for 10 months, and then we came to the U.S. 2 weeks after we left Beirut, the Civil War began. So we were so blessed to get out of there because the airport was shut down, everything was shut down. The American Embassy had, there were some terrorist attacks on the American embassies. They left the country. So we were so blessed to get out of the country as quickly as we did. When we came to America, my father bought a business. It was a grocery store business. And I started in the 5th grade. I was 12 years old. I had missed 2 years of school because of travel, escaping. School was very difficult for me. I passed the 5th grade. The school that I went to had never had foreigners, so they had no idea what to do. They just put us in the class with the rest of the kids. I knew nothing. I didn't know even a word of English. And they passed me to 6th grade anyway, same thing. It was very difficult for me. After 7th grade, I did drop out of school, and I never went back to school. But in America, the opportunities are endless for anyone. After living in Iraq, when you come here, there is nothing but up. There's absolutely nothing but up. So I started my first company, a paper route, and I saw that it was good, and I was making money, and I hired my sisters and others to deliver papers in town, and I'd split the profit, and so that was really good. And then my family had moved to Colorado and then to San Diego. And in San Diego, early 80s, I started a comic book store and a baseball card shop. So at that time, the Comic-Con wasn't big, so I was one of the largest dealers in the Comic-Con convention, but there weren't very many people. It wasn't well known as it is now, so that was a lot of fun. And I was sitting watching the news one day, and they said, the breakup of the Bell. Judge Green broke the Bell, which AT&T had, Pac Bell had monopoly over. And I thought, wow, communication is going to be big. So I wanted to get into communication. So I got a job at a company called SBN. And within 6 months, I was the VP. And we did 87% of MCI's new business through my corporation. I had 2,200 employees. Then about mid-80s, I thought, mid-90s, I thought, well, I think everything is going to go wireless. So I resigned from my position, and I opened wireless business. I was at the kickoff when Pac Bell got into wireless. I was at the kickoff party. I got a contract. I met the guy. His name was Bob Holliday. And I said, give me a contract, and I will make this big. He gave me a contract, and I opened stores. And I ran the cell phone business for quite a few years. And I was at the CES show, and I saw a cell phone that had a camera in it in 1999. So I said, this is going to be big. Everyone will have a camera phone one day, and everyone will want to know what to do with the pictures. So I started pretty much the very first social networking site with a partner. His name is Christopher Hoare. He hired a programmer, and we started, and it was called textamerica.com. If you look that up on Wikipedia, it will say it was early social networking. Now, what happened with that? The problem was there were very few people that had satellite phones. Cell phones with cameras in them. And we kept it going as people started getting their cell phones. We were a few $1 million in debt at this point by 2004 when we went to venture capitals. Like, look, this thing is going to be huge. And they were like, well, we don't know. Why would anyone post their pictures, and why would anyone do that So we could not sell, so we ended up shutting that down. But I am proud of it because I was right. We were right, and social networking did become one of the largest inventions in our time. In 2004, I sold my cell phone business, and I thought I was going to retire. And on December 25th, I was watching TV, and I heard about tsunami in Indonesia. And I thought, there's got to be a way that I can help people for communication, because the biggest part, the reason why people were killed was because they had no communication. So I started searching, what can I do to help in communication in this area? And in June, I did a lot of research, and I went and got a job in Florida to learn about satellite phones for a couple of weeks. And I learned enough, and I came back to San Diego and started a satellite phone company. And 3 months later, Hurricane Katrina hits. Well, when Hurricane Katrina hit, the biggest problem was communication. There would have been a lot of lives saved if it hadn't been communication. So what we did is, me and employees, we did not sleep because the phone would not stop ringing. Everybody from police, sheriff, everyone, businesses, they needed satellite phones to go to save people so they can communicate. So Hurricane Katrina pretty much built my business. It was like a huge kick start. I had no idea what I was doing. It was so new, but it was really very, very helpful. We didn't make too much money on it because we donated a lot of the phones to the sheriff and to a few other organizations that couldn't afford communication to go in there and save people's lives. We flew down there with a lot of phones, and we just handed them out. But it just, for me, it was like, wow, I got in it to help people, and then it hit home. It hit my hometown. It hit my home country. So basically, I still have my satellite phone company. I have a location in Sarasota, and I have a location in San Diego and in Alaska. So I travel back and forth between the three companies, and I do have partners with that company, and it's amazing. God's just been so amazing. I was a Christian in Iraq. I was Catholic. When I came to this country, I became born-again Christian. At the age of 12, I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I am just so grateful to my Lord and Savior for protecting me and my family to get us out of Iraq and then to bring us here. And the opportunities here are so amazing. There is absolutely no limit on what you or anyone can do here in this country, and just very, very grateful.